Hey guys, some gamer dude here. Just wanted to have a little shout out before I start. Franklin, mate, I saw your comment. It came up after I uploaded last week's podcast. Otherwise, this one would have been last week, sorry. Didn't mean to ignore you. I wasn't actually ignoring you, as I said. Sorry. I just chose to use your comment as the launching base for this week's episode. This topic's been on my mind for a while. It's something I've been getting data ready for. I was going to release it months ago, but life happened, and I just kind of put it in the back burner and lost interest. There's going to be a few videos from the back burner coming up soon. 3 Pokemon ones people might be interested in. Anyway, let's get started by reading Franklin's comment. I need to point out the positives on Cardfight Vanguard. They have corrected many problems you have stated. Bushiroad is constantly pushing legacy support in G booster sets. Perfect guards are easy to get. They now provide a complete set of perfect guards and trial decks. They have made it much easier to pull cards. We now get 7 cards per pack with 2 of any rarity. Konami needs to take notes from Cardfight Vanguard. Bushiroad created legacy support quicker in Vanguard's lifespan than Konami giving support to classic decks. Yu-Gi-Oh! Can save itself. They need to make proper rules changes. Restricting cards from extra decks was not the solution. They need to increase life points. First off, I do want to say thanks for the comment. Any comments I'm happy with. However, I am going to use this comment to jump into the actual bulk of the video here, picking it apart to get to what I want to discuss today. Like crow, picking and pecking. Don't know why I'm obsessed with crows recently. Anyway, I've known Franklin for a while. He's pretty much a big fan of the idea of increasing life points or damage quotas, whatever, when things get out of hand. He believes restricting the extra deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Wasn't the answer, and they need to increase life points. Here's the thing. I've already experimented in this. Other games, a lot of games, friend group, make up house rules to more change the game to be either cover what we see as problems in game design or make things a little fairer, and or try to get rid of power creep. And I can tell you straight up from experience, what you're doing is just delaying the inevitable by doing that. You either have to take out the answers by creating artificial restrictions, i.e. ban lists, or create something like the G Guardian to give people the tools to deal with the problem. Ban hammer or answers. How it plays out when you increase the damage quota or life points is you're just telling the person who's already in a really good momentum, in a good position, is they need X more hits to win. It really doesn't change as much as you want, as the person who has the momentum has it for a reason. The problem is always with card design, not damage itself. Even when we're talking really high amounts, efficiency is always more important, even in beats. The perfect guards thing isn't really a big argument like you make it out to be either. Not when over time more and more were printed, they superannuated the original type of perfect guard, the one that just straight up pitch a card of the same type and clan to completely nullify an attack towards any of your units. These are the ones that are in the trial decks. They are completely superannuated. Perfect guards today have effects, be they specific to archetypes or damage on flipping. Coupled with this are the fact that perfect guards have also been absolutely destroyed in value. Out of the last 3 sets, the most expensive one I'm seeing is $4 Australian, the price of an old pack. Even back when they were starting to print perfect guards en masse, they steadily dropped from 15 to 10 to this $4 range. The supply has just increased so dramatically, demand went down. So you have to replace the perfect guards anyway because you're given the older type, but you're spending maximum of $16 Australian anyway. It's not the concern versus back in the day. A set now is half of what Mark and Assault originally went for only just 1 copy, or straight up just 1 copy of any of the less popular perfect guards at the time. you can get a perfect set of you can get a playset of any perfect card you want, with very few exceptions today, for the cost of, say, one twin blader back when Vanguard first came out. But let's get to the meat, because this is what I want to talk about at this point. What I started scripting originally, then put it on ice and never finished it. Card scarcity and drop rates in Vanguard. I'm obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! Recently. Been playing that Duel Links. It's actually not bad. Just got disinterested after about a week. I was like, yep, I had enough of that. Anyway, so back in the day, extra boosters had 15 packs per box. 2 triple rares in a set, and in a box, you got 1. There was roughly a 6.66% chance to pull one from any given pack of the box. So while the triple rare drop rate itself was 50% rarer than a standard booster, 1 in 15 versus 1 in 10 boosters, the chance to pull the specific one was 50% itself, as there are only 2, so it evened out. Compare this to a normal booster where you got 3 of 8 triple rares a box. 10% chance to pull a triple rare from any given pack of the box, and the chance to pull a specific one from those 3 cards in an entire box was roughly 37.5%. Gradually things changed and extra boosters got their 3rd triple rare, but the drop rate didn't change. So now a specific triple rare in a box was at 33.3%. This hurt a lot because it directly increased how many boxes you had to buy, directly increased singles prices, and it never helped that nearly every single extra set had a dud triple rare anyway. It made extra boosters a bad deal from a fairly decent one, to be honest. Later on, they took away the extra booster for the clan booster, which is closer representative of the modern format, with the 7 cards and the price increased by 75% from $4 to $7 Australian. Your local mileage may vary. What appears in the triple rare slot jumped to 5 though, as Generation Rare appeared in the triple rare slot and was essentially an extra triple rare per box. But you now got 2 triple rares out of 12 packs, shrinking from the old 15. So your chance of pulling a specific triple rare or generation rare, provided there was only one generation rare, out of a random booster jumped by about 60%, from 6.66% from an individual booster to 16.66%. Your chance to pull a specific triple rare or generation rare from a box was 40%. That's not too bad on face value, till you consider that the chance of a specific triple rare slot is still lower than it originally was, and the price increase is nearly double. Yes, you pull them more frequently, but the scarcity of individual cards isn't terribly different from the 3 triple rare format, and the price is increased to match. I think extra boosters are the best representation of booster rate making things harder on the player, but it also reflects on normal boosters too. Triple rare used to be 8 a set with 3 a box. Chance to pull a triple rare out of an individual packet was 10%. The chance to pull a specific triple rare from a box, a complete sealed booster box, as I said, 37.5%. Eventually, Generation Rare was added to the card pool, the triple rare pool, increasing the amount of triple rare slots a set by 1, even in sets with 2, because you get a half a playset in a case. So as a whole, Generation Rare increases the triple rare slot by 1, as you get roughly a playset of triple rares per case. This meant a specific triple rare dropped at 33.3% of the time, which doesn't sound too bad, but when you compare how much the game changed thanks to G units, cards that generally every player of that clan needed, prices increased due to both scarcity and desirability. When the boxes and boosters changed so much, I really expected the worst. Really screwed up rarity systems that would allow Bushiroad to gouge the player base more. Everything till then, with the exception of the G trial decks, was engineered to suck more and more money from the player. I didn't have a good image of Bushiroad in my mind. Same 75% price increase from $4 to $7, same pack layout. Boxes are now 16 packs. Price increased by 75% per packet. and the triple rare slot changed again. Generation Rare is now moved to its own slot, replacing a rare instead of a triple rare. Triple rare itself increased to 9. So the modern 33.3% scarcity of an individual triple rare in the sealed box is preserved, but the triple rare itself changed dramatically. 3 triple rare a box was also preserved, but there are now 16 packs a box, meaning triple rare now drops at 18.75% chance from a random booster, or roughly 1 in 5 packs, instead of the old 1 in 10 packs and 10% chance of pulling a triple rare. The increase in drop rate is actually slightly higher than the increase in price, which surprised me. Double rare used to have 5 a box or 1 in 6 packs. It's still 5 a box, but it's nearly 1 in 3 packs, which means it drops nearly half the rate it used to. 16.6 to 31.25% chance to pull a double rare, more than the price increase. But also consider double rare jumped from 12% to 14. So specific chance to get a double rare from a box was 41%, is now 35.7. And yes, that actually means any specific double rare actually has less of a chance to be specifically pulled from a box than any specific triple rare did originally. I think what Bushiroad have done is actually really interesting and no one's talking about it. They've made the foils drop far more frequently, so you feel like you're getting your money's worth and you feel good buying packs, but nothing has really changed. Your actual expense is roughly the same, and the chance of pulling a specific card is about the same. What you're really doing is pretty much buying 2 boosters at once, with less commons. Less commons isn't the worst thing in the world either, as it keeps reasons to buy boosters, and they become trash quick when you buy multiple boxes, as they are a place set of box in the older boxes. But what they've really done is trick the player base. They've made things scarcer, they've made things more common, but doubled the price. So you're still paying roughly the same amount. But this change has had a really negative side effect. Double rares are now maxing around $4, and unless you pull a triple rare, you're losing money, and quite a significant amount, from any booster you buy. The cards have become worthless outside of the highest rarity. At $4 a pack, the pack being of value wasn't a big deal, but now packs are $7, outside of those 3 triple rare, which seem to be averaging about 12 in the current set, 15 when all the 3 sets released in this format are accounting for. You're not even breaking even on the 95 a box. Even if you could get them cheaper, on average, you're still only getting about $65 worth of cards, unless you pull like a Dragonic Overlord or a Voltage. Might be better in America where the boxes can be had as low as 60, but looking at TCG Player, the triple rares actually seem to average out at $8-9 there. Some really low, some double list, but this seems to be around the median, while double rare are closer to $2. Enjoy your $30 value box. It's actually worse in America. Sorry, Americans. I don't have the data for when Vanguard was in its prime, back in the Break Ride and mid-G era, that span of time. But Vanguard's value as a TCG right now is pretty bad. I know I was complaining it was expensive, but now it's not even sustainable. It's too expensive as a sealed product for what's there. The EV is too low. The price needs to be depleted back to where it once was. Franklin said Konami needed to copy Bushiroad, not the other way around. Looking at Yu-Gi-Oh!, the value is exclusively in the secret rare, and only 2 are anywhere near valuable in the last set, Circuit Break. Of 8, only 3 are above $10 American dollars, and you only get 2 a box, so the EV is fairly low there. Ultra is close to being worth a couple of bucks each, so Yu-Gi-Oh! Isn't a good place either. It's just not. I think when I look at these numbers, they're both pretty bad. I believe the takeaway from today is I don't understand how a singles market exists, and I don't understand why people bitch so much about Forceville's lack of value during the Alice cluster when other games are frankly just as bad. I can't see people making money off Vanguard singles unless they get them close to half price. Even then, they're probably only breaking even. By half price, I mean the booster boxes. I really don't know how to increase the EV without crippling supply, which isn't good for Bushiroad themselves anyway. There is a really fragile ecosystem in TCGs that is ruined by both success giving into greed, so much supply nothing has value, and a lack of success, resulting in price decline and no demand. It's really hard to balance the old supply and demand. Both Bushiroad and Konami, along with Wizards, even Pokemon looking at their payout these days, none of them do a good job. But hey, it's been said for the longest time booster packs were a fool's game due to being gambling. I think today did nothing but prove it. This has been some Gamer Dude, and I'll see you guys next time.